even more proof that America is Babylon. Shalom. First and foremost, giving all praises, honor, glory, respect, and blessings to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rachakwadash. Salutations to the Lord's elect on the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth and sincerity while patiently waiting for Yahweh Shai's return. And double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, which have taught us everything we know through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Excuse me. And in this video, I am going to further prove that America is, in fact, Babylon. Now, as you can see, this is the same Babylon as you see here for the Strong's definition of H894. So without further ado, let's get right into it. It says, "And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency, shall be as when Yahweh overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah." Now, if we look into this definition for Babylon, we get Babal, as you see right here. Now they have Babel, but that's the improper way of saying it. Okay, it's Babal, as you see up here. Okay, and it says confusion by mixing. Now, if we come over here and click on the root word for it, it's Balal. And here it says to mix, mingle, confuse, confound. Okay, to mingle, confuse, to mix. So to mix and mingle appears multiple times in the definition for Balal. And when you mingle, when you're mingling something, like you might have like, I'm just giving an example. You might have like some juice or something, and you might take like a tiny little bit of brown sugar and put it inside your juice, and then you might mingle the glass around in circles in order to get the brown sugar to mix into the juice. So that's what mingling is. Mingling is mixing by mingling the glass around. Okay. And when it says to mix and mingle, well, that's basically America. America takes on the philosophies and the ideologies of many other nations, especially the idols of other nations. Excuse me. Okay. And this is the only country where you can come to where you will find gods of other nations here at. Chinese people, they can come over here and worship their gods. Japanese people can come over here and worship their gods. The Arabs can come over here and worship their gods, and so forth, So this country is mingled and mixed with the philosophies and ideologies of all these other nations. And that's where you get confusion at, because nobody knows what's what. You got one philosophy or ideology from one nation saying this. You got an ideology or philosophy from another nation saying that. You got a philosophy or ideology from another nation saying this and that. And that's confusion, Like, you're not going to go to these Arabian countries and find a Chinese god there, or a Hamitic god, or a Japanese god. You're only going to find the gods. You're only going to find the gods that the Arabs worship. You're not going to go to an East Indian country and find an Arab god or a Hamitic god or a Japanese god or a Chinese god or any other god except the gods that the East Indians worship. Okay, you're not going to go to a Chinese country and find a Hamitic god or an Arab god or East Indian god. Or excuse me, or a Chinese or Slakia or a Japanese god. Okay, you're only going to find the gods that Chinese people worship there. You know, America's the only country that takes on the philosophies and the ideologies of all the other gods of the other nations. So this country has been mixed and mingled with the philosophies and the ideologies of the false gods of these other nations. Because as it is written, the gods of the nations are idols. So America is one big cesspool of ideologies and philosophies from every nation on this planet, especially from their false gods and what these nations believe according to how they were raised. Now, another definition is to give provender. So if we come over here for the definition of provender, it says animal fodder. Now, in the book of Genesis, people were referred to as beasts. And what is a beast? An animal. Now, what is fodder? Well, let's look up the definition for fodder. Fodder is food. Okay? And down here, for provender, you also have food. Okay? So, during the time of Adam and Eve, you know, the philosophies were referred to as the fruits. You know? Now, metaphorically, we know that it was talking about philosophies, but in the book of Genesis, philosophies are referred to as fruit. Okay? And during the time of Adam and Eve, people was eating these fruits, meaning people were basically learning philosophies. Okay? People were learning philosophies. The metaphor for eat is to learn. So people was eating of these fruits via these different philosophies in the Garden of Adam and Eve. Now, in today's time, you know, America is carrying many of these different kinds of fruits from these other nations. And these different fruits are out there in the open for people to eat via or metaphorically speaking, for people to learn. These philosophies are out there for people to learn. And that's why there is so much confusion here in America, because there is philosophies all over the place, ideologies all over the place. You know, this person is right. Nah, this person is right. Nah, this has to be it. You know, a lot of people, they try to prove that their philosophy or the philosophy of their false god is right by dating their info back to thousands of years. You know, well, you see, during this time and such. Hey, but you know what? There's only one truth, and that's the word of the Most High. So, hey, let the Lord be true and every man a liar. Okay, at the end of the day, the philosophies of you heathen nations, the ideologies of you heathen nations, the philosophies of these different false gods that you heathens worship, is going to be found out to be nothing. You're going to be confounded. Okay, and Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai shall be exalted in the earth. Okay, when especially when Yahweh Shai makes his second return. And guess what? There ain't gonna be no more of you heathens. When Yahweh Shai returns, there's gonna be no more of you heathens, you know, living by the philosophies of your false gods. You're gonna have to live by our customs, which are customs and righteousness. Okay, you're gonna have to keep our laws, statutes, and commandments in the kingdom. Okay, not in the kingdom, but after the kingdom of heaven is established. After the kingdom of heaven is established, you're gonna have to keep our laws, statutes, and commandments. But anyways, Lord's will, this video helped you brothers to further prove that America is Babylon and the Holy Scriptures. With that, is on to the next one. Shalom.